Sometimes, it's hard to pinpoint just when a social revolution begins. But in the case of the sexual revolution, many date it from the introduction of the birth control pill in 1961. Beginning then, relations between the sexes changed radically.
In fact, the mainstream media told us everything changed.
It's difficult really to appreciate fully now what an extraordinary revolution the development of the pill was. No fuss, no muss, no bother, just one every morning like an aspirin, like an aspirin, like an aspirin.
It's a mentality. It's an anti-fertility mentality. And it has been there since the birth control pill came into existence.
Almost overnight, the entire country turned into a giant social experiment.
The number of out-of-wedlock pregnancies is going out of sight. The number of abortions is going out of sight. The divorce rate is out of sight. The number of sexually transmitted diseases is epidemic. And this is all connected to the climate that we have of a sexual promiscuity that's out of control.
Dr. Thomas Hilgers is an OB/GYN who was trained at the University of Minnesota and the Mayo Clinic at the dawn of this era.
The medical profession has been totally wrapped up in contraception, abortion, sterilization, and in vitro fertilization. And these suppress and destroy fertility or skip over it. In a way, when you take the birth control pill, you create a disease all of its own. By suppressing all of these hormones, you're actually creating an abnormal function.
When you're on a birth control pill, there's no medical need to have a monthly period.
Did no one question this? In 1968, nearly alone against the world, Pope Paul VI reaffirmed Catholic teaching against the birth control pill, abortion, and other destructive reproductive technologies when he issued his papal encyclical Humanae Vitae.
He foresaw, even in 1968 when the encyclical was published, that there would be an enormous attack upon the relationship between man and woman, especially upon woman. And he called the Church to have a profound respect for woman in her full femininity, to respect it as God's gift to husband and to the world for the sake of the transmission of human life.
It was this encyclical that not only said no to contraception, abortion, and IVF, but said yes to authentic love and authentic medicine, imploring scientists and doctors to develop medical solutions to support the Church's teaching.
I thought it was speaking directly to me, to be honest with you. Never did I know that I might want to be one of the very few people who thought it was speaking to him. Because at the time, the descent to Humanae Vitae was swirling every place.
Along with his wife Sue and a small band of medical professionals, Dr. Hilgers embarked upon a journey in search of these solutions, developing first an effective and standardized method of natural family planning, today known as the Creighton model fertility care system, that is 99.5% method effective for couples seeking to avoid pregnancy, and that also helps couples who are trying to achieve pregnancy by identifying peak days of ovulation. The Hilgers further answered the call for solutions when they broke ground in 1985 to establish the Pope Paul VI Institute for the Study of Human Reproduction.
Pope Paul VI Institute Ultrasound, this is Janine.
Here was launched a new movement in medicine, natural procreative technology, or NaPro technology.
In NaPro technology, we're looking at a whole new way of looking at things.
This whole new way has produced spectacular results. More than just the Creighton model family planning system, NaPro technology is 95% effective at treating premenstrual syndrome, greater than 90% effective at treating postpartum depression, and 79% effective at helping women carry babies to term following recurrent miscarriage. NaPro technology also provides for a 75% reduction in hysterectomies and a 43% reduction in preterm births. These protocols and success rates were documented in the medical textbook, The Medical and Surgical Practice of NaPro Technology. Dr. Hilgers presented the text to Pope John Paul II in Rome in 2004, And the Holy Father later reported that this work gave him great hope for the future. Of all its successes, the Institute is best known for its treatments for couples suffering from infertility. Of the more than 9 million American couples suffering from infertility, fewer than 0.5% will have a baby using artificial reproductive technologies like in vitro fertilization. Their suffering is made worse by the fact that the single most common diagnosis offered to them for infertility is unknown cause.
The thing that I see over and over and over again, and it's not just the women, like you said, it's many times their husbands too who are saying this, is they cannot understand for the life of them why their doctors will not try to find out what's wrong with them. And as a result of that, they're angry, they're upset, they're disturbed. They haven't had any other place to go, however, there's been no other alternative.
Until now.
New hope for couples trying to have a baby. Supporting a new technology to help millions of couples who are struggling with infertility.
Little Claire is living proof miracles do happen. At least that's what her mom and dad believe after enduring years of frustration trying and failing to get pregnant.
Felt like my body had failed me, that I couldn't do what I was meant to do, and that I felt an emptiness and void inside myself and my heart that could never be filled.
Like millions of other couples struggling with infertility, Stephanie and Anthony Eppolite thought the in vitro fertilization industry could help. But after spending $25,000 at a Sacramento IVF clinic and no baby, despair set in. That all changed when they turned to Dr. Tom Hilgers. He's pioneered a radically different but successful approach to infertility called NaPro technology. Research in Hilgers' new medical textbook shows NaPro technology's success rates 1.5 to 3 times higher than in vitro fertilization. The American Society of Reproductive Medicine declined to comment until they review the data on NaPro technology. But for some couples, their new baby is all the proof they need.
The Pope Paul VI Institute's 25th anniversary celebration in Omaha brought together patients, families, medical colleagues, priests, and bishops, all expressing their gratitude and support. For thousands of women and couples like these, NaPro technology has delivered results they couldn't get elsewhere, using a method that respects individual human dignity and the sanctity of all human life.
I just thank God that Dr. Hilgers listened to God, giving him the ability to do what he does and to follow the path God has led for him. Because without these two miracles, I mean, life would be different.
The potential that this has to revolutionize the way we currently think about gynecologic health is immense. But we know from what we're doing that it works.
Cardinal Justin Regali came from Philadelphia to celebrate the opening Mass for the gathering at Omaha's Quest Center.
The Pope Paul VI Institute follows Christ and leads to Christ.
And Polish Archbishop Zygmunt Jamowski came from Rome, where he serves as head of the Pontifical Council for Healthcare Workers. Archbishop Jamowski celebrated the closing Mass.
And I hope to work together in the future. Thank you for your hard work.
And he bestowed upon Sue and Tom Hilgers the Good Samaritan Medal from his Pontifical Council. There was planning for the NaPro technology revolution of the future, which will include expansion of NaPro technology into Catholic seminaries and Catholic medical centers.
The Church is actually sitting on, philosophically, the solution to many of the world's problems. And as Catholics, I think we have a real profound responsibility to see to it that those solutions are delivered. Sometimes we have to find out more what the solutions are, propelled by Christian philosophy and not detracted by it. And I know that for my own work, I've been propelled by it and I have been motivated by it, and I couldn't be happier doing what I am doing.
People just can't imagine how good this is. I know this when I talk to other priests or clerics, you know, there's this kind of like this film that comes over the, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, I've heard all this before. No, you have not heard this before. I promise you, you haven't heard this. It's completely new. This is the best thing for families that we can do here and now today. And we really need to be serious about getting it widely promoted in the church.
Well, our goal is to expand this and to move this. We want the Pope Paul VI Institute to be a very large institution. My original goal was to build a Mayo Clinic for reproductive disorders that had a Catholic moral and ethical foundation. And that's still our goal.
Dr. Hilders is one of those great laymen that has responded to the call of the Second Vatican Council to give witness to what it means to be a disciple in everyday life, in their professional lives. And he's done that in spades.
Hello, I'm Nick Manhart, and this is my wife Carolyn. We want to thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Pope Paul VI Institute. As you heard Father Richard share earlier, you can't imagine how good this is.
Nick and I learned the Creighton model fertility care system and NaPro technology during the time we were preparing for a wedding. Using the Creighton model enabled us to have 4 wonderful children. We thank God every day for the life that fills our home.
The gift of children is a constant reminder of why we appreciate the mission of the Institute. One way we show our appreciation is through a regular financial donation.
As an internal medicine physician, I've personally benefited from the cutting-edge research and professional training offered through the Institute. It's given me a valuable resource for the women and couples I see in my practice who are in desperate need of gynecological health care that respects their dignity and fertility. Our donation is one way we can help Dr. Hilders and his colleagues continue the work of the Institute.
We'd like to ask you to join us in supporting the Pope Paul VI Institute with a generous financial donation. You just saw a glimpse of the inspiring accomplishments, but much more needs to be done so that couples everywhere can experience the joy that comes with the gift of life, the gift of children. We need your help.
Please prayerfully consider a donation today. And on behalf of all the women and couples and medical providers you'll be helping, thank you and God bless you.